Ladies and gentlemen, well, my name is Shofu Babalola, and you're welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Pest Experience Show. You know, the Pest Experience Show cut across different states, across different cities, across different country, where we talk about everything that has to do with pest and pest control tips, pest control strategies. And you know, we just don't do it alone. We bring in seasoned experts into the field of that have spent years and years of experience in the pest control industry to share their own world of experience to us, to the people, to professionals, even to homeowners, down to facility managers, and even to the young minds who are trying to also dabble into the industry. Right? The Pest Experience Show is where we talk about everything that has to do with pest and pest control. So you're welcome to today's episode of the Pest Experience Show. It's been a wonderful session. Last week we had Mr. Marcus Scruggs, and this week we have an amazing guest. You literally cannot wait to meet who my guest is. I mean, we had like a couple of chit chat before the show, and it with drum rolls. Welcome, Mrs. Kimberly Camera, all the way from the United States of America, right on the Pest Experience Show, right here in Nigeria. All right, thank you very much for joining on today's episode of Pest Experience Show. But before we get started, before I introduce you fully, let me share a brief about who Mrs. Kimberly Camera is. A lot of professionals will say, who's Mrs. Who is she? Let's know about her. Let's get to know who. So Mrs. Kimberly Camera, which is who she is popularly known as Kim, is the founding partner and a field operator of Urban Canine Pest and Wildlife Solutions, UC based in Aiken, South Carolina. What began as a passion for solving pest challenges has evolved into highly specialized operations with 4 service divisions and a team bringing more than 52 years, emphasis on the 52 years of combined experience. Kim is especially known for our work in bedbug and rodent detection and verification, supporting facilities that need accurate answers, fast decision making, and defensible documentation, particularly in environments where reputations and residents' trust matters most. She's especially passionate about serving senior living communities, not only because of the technical work, but because of the relationships that come with it. For her, being a familiar and trusted presence, listening to residents' stories and bringing peace of mind is just as important as resolving the pest issue itself. Amazing. UC isn't a typical pest control company. Their canine detection division travels nationwide, supporting complex cases and partnering with pest management professionals across the country. Kim believes strongly in collaboration, viewing other companies as industry partners, not competitors, and I can testify to that, right? Because the best outcomes happen when expertise is shared. With advanced tools like trained canine scent detection, Gentex, RASCO technology, and strong emphasis on humane wildlife management, UC supports a wide range of environments, from large-scale warehouses and commercial facilities to apartments, communities, and sensitive residential space. And at the core of it all is a commitment of doing great work, the work right, using science-backed strategies and building relationships that last. With a rounding, sounding, lifting, shaking round of applause, welcome, Mrs. I want Doctor to your name. Mrs. Kimberly Camera on the show. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation to be part of the international guest, global guest, experienced professionals who are right on the show. I mean, over the years, we've brought in experts, not just in Nigeria, but outside the country, majorly on the Pest Experience Show. It's been a wonderful, amazing session. You know, we got talking about why exactly the Pest Experience Show is more of international people. More we're trying to build up that international collaborations, also get to share experiences across different states, across different cities, across different country, and helping us to grow, right? You are someone who is really, really keen about rodent management. And that's where we're going to be talking about a couple of things: canine detection, dogs and pest control, rodent management, bedbug treatment, bedbug management, and even in senior living housing, right? But I'm going to start with rodent control. I mean, you gained so much popularity on LinkedIn through there is this particular picture. I mean, that was the first big picture I saw online. How I got to know about you. You know, the list of I think I'll be adding it to the show right on the screen. The list of you see dead rodents right on the screen on the floor. So how did you come about rodent control and even canine? Let's start from there.
I'm a farm girl. So I grew up in good old American farmland, and that's what we had to do. When you have cattle and you have farm animals, you deal with rodents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my father was very dead set against any type of chemical or poison put out because of the animals. So we basically had to learn how to remove them. And the dogs were fantastic at it.
Mm.
Dogs do what they do naturally. They kill, they hunt. So we started using canine. Oh my gosh, when I was 7 years old. So I've always had a dog along
Wow.
the farm. And then it became very personal to me when I was in my 40s. A very good friend lost their dog to rodenticide poisoning. They went into
Wow.
somebody's garage and the dog ate the poisoning. That's when I started learning about secondary poisoning,
Mm-hmm.
treatments of that, what's good, what's bad. But I'll tell you who made a major impact on me was Rachel Carlson. So Rachel
Mm.
Carlson wrote a book called Silent Springs. They almost murdered her because she was working in a company that was developing DDT, and
Oh.
and she noticed high chemical, high cancer rates, a lot of sickness, a lot of call outs, and they started associating it with the usage of DDT. So she was the mainstay. Rachel Carlson, great book. Get it. It's called Silent Springs, and it's a good read. And it takes you through her life's path of how she got DDT basically banned from the United States.
Amazing.
So that was amazing to me, and I wanted to be that person that could research, could observe, could find these problems, and that's kind of where my life has taken me. So.
Amazing. And that's great. I mean, most of professionals have come about solutions, right? They say that you can't solve a problem if you've not experienced how exactly it's the effect of that problem. You can't solve it effectively if you've not actually passed through it. And that's have been major stories of virtually professionals who have started service businesses and are doing it very well on this day. So you're very keen at using canine dogs to get rid of rodents and bedbug control. My concern is how exactly do you even train the dogs? What exactly are things that you see in the dogs? How do they relate with you? How do they communicate with you? For a layman which I just wondering how dogs will help me get rid of rodents. Like just explain it, in that layman terms to be able to I mean, because canine is not common here in Nigeria or even I'm not sure in other countries in West Africa, but it's not a common solution to rodent control here. We are more of rodenticide application, exclusion practices, fatality control. According to Mr. Marcus Krug's on my last show, he talked about fatality control, and but it's a different case here, right? We have so much use of rodenticides and exclusion control, like I said. But in your own country, you are more of canine dogs. How do that work?
So we canine in the United States are used for a lot of things. They're used for your police departments, apprehension, drugs, bombs, mold. We have mold dogs that can find undetectable mold. We have
Mm,
environmental dogs that can find endangered salamanders, can detect noxious weeds in fields that are killing cattle. So the dog sense of smell is so acute. It's 100 times better than ours. And some people say it's even larger than that. So
mm,
they can smell, for instance, if let's take bed bugs, since a lot of people will understand a bed bug egg and how tiny that bed bug egg is. I have a dog that can
yes.
smell one bed bug egg.
Wow.
So they have such a large sense of smell and a very low threshold. You know, you can get that threshold down really low
Mm-hmm.
to one bed bug egg. It's amazing. And how do we train it? Every dog's trained with the same philosophy, but maybe a little different reward. You want the same type of dog. You want a high prey
Hmm.
drive dog. But for bed
Hmm.
bugs, you don't want the dog that wants to go kill everything. You just want that, I got to
Yeah.
play, I got to play, I got to play. Give me the frisbee, give me the frisbee. So he would be what we call a toy dog. So we're going to
Mm.
pair the odor up with the toy, and he's going to search for, say, we're going to start with food. He's searching for his meal. Now we're going to put the odor with his meal. Search, search, search. Now we're going to take the food out. Now he's searching for the odor only. And then we're going
Oh.
to reward him once he finds it. I've got a 9-week-old puppy here we're doing that with now. And she's going to be a rodent detection dog. So she's learning to find fecal, bedding, urine, trailways, harbors areas. She's never seen a live rat. I don't want her to. I want the odor to be
The odor.
important. So all it is, I mean, if I had to dig a hole and I knew I was going to get a candy bar, I'd dig that hole to get that candy bar, right? And that's what a dog's doing. They're not
Oh.
finding the odor per se. They're trying to find their toy, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yes,
So,
yes.
and it's something you do every single day. You're training every single day. You got to train in many, many different environments. But most importantly, you got to start with the right dog. And everybody's always asking me, what's the right dog? It's the
Mm-hmm.
dog that
That's
has the high prey drive, the high toy drive that drives you
mm.
crazy, doesn't live in a house, wants to kill a cat. The dog that you could just, that's the perfect working dog. It's not a
Mhm.
pet. It's not the dog that wants to just sit on the couch.
Mm.
So I know in parts of Africa, you've got dogs that will find snares, trained specifically for snares. You've got poaching dogs.
Yeah.
You've got your law enforcement dogs coming in there. So
Yeah.
we just brought pest control dogs into pest control. Now, bed bug dogs have been here for a long time. Rodent
Yeah.
dogs are rodent dogs are brand new. And
Mm.
so moving them into the industry has been interesting, has been sometimes challenging, but it's being met very positively because what a dog does is they find what you can't see. That is the best thing for a
Exactly.
dog. If they're finding
Exactly.
what you can't see. Um, Amazing finds sometimes. So, yeah.
Great. So in your entire treatment process, right? It means that you probably don't even use rodenticides to control the rodent
So
at all.
I don't know if we will ever get out of using rodenticides, but we have several apartment complexes right now that we have sustained only using canine. So
Mm.
what's really important, I think, with pest control, and you kind of went a little bit there a minute ago, education. You and I were talking about that earlier.
Yes.
Education is
Yes.
so
Education is
important.
key.
It is so important to our staff, to our employees, but it's so important to our clients.
Mm.
This is what you have. This is why you have it. Your clients have to become a partner with you. You know,
True.
we have the sanitation issue, so we need to clean that up. And that's their
Yeah.
job to clean that up. That's their job to partner with you. And then we can come in and we can flush the rodents out of the burrows. The dogs will remove most of them. We'll hand grab some of them. And now
Mm-hmm.
we can take that large infestation to where it's undetectable. You can never say, I'm going to eradicate that because we're never going to eradicate rats or cockroaches
Mm.
or anything else. But you want to bring it down to a level
Mm-hmm.
that your client's comfortable with, that your client's not panicking anymore for, because they're always going to have rats. But now they don't see them by the dozens. They might see one every now and then because it's a lower level of infestation. What we have to
Mm.
remember as pest control, and you and I were talking earlier, pest control to me it's not a job, it's a passion. And you
True.
have to have the ability to also deal with your clients on an emotional level. And what's
Mm.
more emotional than bed bugs and rats? You know, those are such emotional issues for people. Rodents cause so much damage financially, house
Yes.
fires. People don't want to live with them. They feel dirty. Bed bugs, everybody feels ugh when they get a bed bug and they want to hide it. So we've got to deal
Exactly.
with people on an emotional level, empathy, compassion, And the one thing I think pest control is missing, which is probably what 3 generations ago used to do, observation.
Mm,
Simply sit and watch.
mm.
We're coming in and we go, yep, there's rats. We start putting down our pesticide, our rodenticide, our boxes, and we leave and we don't know what we just treated. We
Mm.
don't know what we just did, right?
I mean, before we started the program, we talked about. I think I raised a statement that most of pest control operators literally don't even know the type of rodents that they are battling with.
They won't
They,
know.
they can't even identify if it's a Norway rat, a roof rat, or even an house mice, right?
Hmm.
And you can't solve a problem you literally don't know anything about,
That's
right?
right.
So we need to actually shift away from so much of insecticide application to more of observation, assessment, pest
That's correct.
assessment, right? You
That is
mentioned
so correct.
yeah. So you mentioned something earlier about when you were talking about the rodents flushing down the ways, right? So
Hmm.
what do you use? Because I mean, companies, pest control operators will be like, "Oh, what, flushing down rodents? So how does that work?"
Okay.
So
So
what do you use? Yeah. So
we
I want you
have
to
to get,
explain that part.
thank you. We have to get the rodents out of the burrows. They're not
Hmm.
coming out. We hunt during the day. So we're going to mitigate that large rodent and burrow with roof rat, or I'm sorry, Norway rats,
Or
and we want them in their burrows. You can
mm,
use many different methods. We prefer using what's called a Burrow RX. It's a carbon monoxide machine. It's a tiny little lawnmower, all wrapped up in a fancy little case, EPA approved for pest control use. We mix oil with it and we
mhm.
blow it through the burrows. The first day we do it, we don't have dogs out, we have nothing. All I want to know is where's the smoke's going. Where's the
Oh,
burrow? What is connected
where is it
to this
leading
burrow?
to?
Hmm?
Mm. Where's the burrow leading into?
Which, yes, you was like, okay, so burrow A, where's it going? And now I
Yeah.
start closing those burrows down that are 20 and 30 feet away. I don't want the
Mm.
rats to escape. So that
Mm.
whole first day, we're observing, we're watching, we're blowing smoke, we're trying to see where the burrows go. Where's the hide? This is just a hide. It's 3 feet deep. Forget about that one. We try to force the rodents into one path. So
Mm.
then we'll blow smoke all day. Now we just go away. We let the rats calm down. They come back. The
Mm.
next day, all we're doing is observing. We're letting them find peace. If that sounds
Mm.
corny, but that's exactly what we're doing. Taking the pressure off of them so they feel
Mm.
peace and can get back to their routine.
Mm.
When there's no pressure, they're just as calm as could be. I've got video of me almost touching and scratching a head of a rat because they never had any pressure put on them. So we want them to
Wow.
calm down, relax. That third day, now we're going to blow that carbon monoxide. We know where we funneled them into because we spent one whole day learning the burrow system. And we've got the
Mm.
dogs right there. Rats run out, dogs get them, shake them. It's an immediate death. It is not painful, it's immediate. So it's very,
Wow.
very humane. If you look at rodenticides, which, like I say, I understand the use for them, I'm not against them. I think we just need to manage them better, and there are other ways. Um, that rodenticide sometimes can take 3 to 10 days to kill a rat, depending on which
Yeah.
one you're using,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Now that little rat's become a wildlife bomb. So it's out there running around, it's sick, it's got chemical in it. Now something else is going to eat it. So there's our
Mm.
secondary poisoning. And
Mm.
it could be a dog, a cat, your pet, it could be, a wildlife. And Africa has to be very careful with that because your wildlife is so important to your country. It's the
Mm.
root of Africa. It is so important to tourism, healthy environments, the whole bit.
Yes.
So that's kind of flushing them out. You can flush them out with water. You can stick a hose down in a hole, but now here's something with doing that. I learned the
Mm.
hard way. You can flush with water, but there's air pockets, and rats can hold
Oh.
their breath for 4 minutes. But now you've created
Oh.
air pockets. So if you put like a dish liquid soap in the hole as you're doing the water, the soap will take away those air pockets and they come out a
Mm.
lot faster. You can use smoke candles, which is a little tiny, it's a fire departments use it a lot for training, a little smoke candle and use a leaf blower and blow the smoke through. So there's many different ways, but we prefer the carbon monoxide.
I think I really love the concept of the boro RX as the carbon monoxide because it's easier to even carry
Yes.
out exclusion, right? When you can actually spot where the burrow is leading to and where it's
Hmm.
coming out from.
And that's what I
Because
like. And yes.
I think that's even the perfect exclusion practice model
Hmm.
that pest control companies are meant to take. Because if the carbon monoxide can actually show, okay, this is where they are passing in through, this is where the smoke is coming up from, you can easily just seal up, and you're good to go.
Now for
That's
that, what
yeah.
I would use for that, because the Burrower X is carbon monoxide, so you are putting a gas out there.
Yes.
I would use what's called this, oh my gosh, the sewer assassin sells it. It's a smoke machine. It's non-toxic. It's just basically steam with smoke, and we have used that on burrows when it's close to a foundation.
Wow.
And no chemical, no nothing. You just have to have a cord to plug it into. So that's hard sometimes to find an electrical site to plug into.
Right.
But that piece of equipment, it would be excellent. That's something else we do is, these rodents sometimes they will follow your pipes, your plumbing, your
Hmm.
pipes will come up in your toilets, will come up in your walls. We can take that machine and here in the States, we can plug it into our sewer clean out, our vent. It will
Yes.
blow through the building. And if there is a break in that pipe, that smoke will come out. So you may
Oh.
have it come out at an outlet and your pipes need fixed. And that's probably how the rats are getting into the building.
Mm.
So it's amazing. You can do so much to find out how they're moving. And that's what
Mm.
needs to be done first. Not, we don't, doctors don't come in and say, okay, I'm doing heart surgery on you because you have acid reflux or you're having chest pains. They put you
Hmm.
through a lot of tests, a lot of observations. And that should be the same way that pest control looks at it: education, observation, trapping, canine,
Mm.
and then rodenticide should be the last thing.
The last method. That's basically
Yep.
IPM, but eventually um we are just starting from the back.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I mentioned this when we were talking before we started recording. That one of especially in Nigeria, right? I don't know about some other West African country. One of the major challenges, you see, you mentioned Buro RX. When we were talking, you mentioned Apprehend for bedbug control. You mentioned some other products right now again, or even a couple of equipment. You see, most of those equipment, not that actually professionals here in Nigeria literally don't want to use these things, but because of the fact that they are not even available. And I feel like this is an opportunity for manufacturers. You have a mass market here in Africa, in Nigeria, who literally there is no or little or no public health pesticide manufacturing company, except for the one that is like just coming up recently, the China company coming up recently in Nigeria, and I think there's some other locally repackaging industry here in Nigeria, but like manufacturers like Nisos,
Mhm.
like Apprehend, like Rockwell Labs, like the rest, and many most of them like that. Literally none of them like that in Nigeria, and you have a mass market. You have a country where a lot of pest issues are actually going up all around. Resistance are happening, and you have mass market, but little of all those products or equipments are in the country. I feel like it's a challenge, right? And also, it's also an opportunity in disguise for manufacturers to look inward and take the risk. I know it's really really hard to maybe the registration procedures and stuff like that, but I mean, take the risk. Let's take the risks together, right? And let's get these things done. We literally need to look inward and I mean, you mentioned a couple of products now, and they are not new to me because I'm aware of the Buro RX. I'm aware of carbon monoxides and the rest. But when you look at most of the products in other countries, look at them, look at what we have here, they just tend to result back into what is available, right? We really
Right.
cannot just blame pest control professionals. There are most of them that are actually filled up with knowledge, but products to use, equipment to use,
Right.
to shipping into the country is another problem on its own. So it's another challenge that we all need to solve. And I mean, I talked about it before that I prefer when we do less talking and do more of the work. Show
Yes.
workings. Nigerians will say show workings. Let's not just be talking about these things. Let's come up with a proper solution, bring in this equipment, bring in this product, and show them this is exactly how it works. And funny enough is how when manufacturers come into a particular country, they tend to actually undo trainings, undo set up workshops, conferences, and stuff like that. And this is also a call to regulatory bodies out there. I don't know, you could actually get to them, but it's a call to regulatory bodies to encourage international collaborations and get most of this product equipment registered, right? I mean, one of the greatest, I've spoken to a couple of manufacturers before, and one of their greatest fear is the fact that they don't really know how much it's going to cost them to register these products completely. They don't really know the confirmed duration of registration procedures is going to be completed. Some of them, registration procedures can take like 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. And for international people, it's really frustrating.
Hmm.
I mean, they've invested so much, they want results back, and they have timelines for their own return on investments and stuff like that. So we need to actually speed up registration procedures, right? One of the work that the Pesticide Initiative is working on is the regulation framework, where we have a collaborative registration framework. Products that is approved by the US EPA should actually also make a way to be approved by Nigerian NAFDAC and some other regulatory bodies, maybe the EU, the European Union, and also approve those products, right? So there is a need for that international collaborations in pesticide registrations across board so that we are not just creating resistance, even as
Right.
professionals. We're not just because there's a way we as professionals can create resistance. We can be talking about resistance to give you are using too much insecticide to cause resistance, but we're using the same insecticides that are available, just different brand names, and resistance will
That's
start
right.
to set in.
It's
So
it's, it's the same chemical, just different brands.
different brand names. So that international collaborations needs to come into place where most of this, and I really love what Nisos is building. Nisos is getting amazing products that are biopesticides, same as there's this Russell IPM2 is also working on biopesticides.
Hmm.
So many other products. My lava, I think my lava is also working on biopesticides. Apprehend Rockwell Labs is also working on biopesticides. So many other manufacturing companies are now moving into that fungus, just the way Apprehend works. Bacillus thuringiensis to control the dunks for mosquito control and stuff like that. So we need that international collaborations in getting this product readily available in the market, right? I mean, I just thought about it. I just need to share that part. It's like one of the major concerns I've been really really bothered about, working on. So thank you very much for that great point, right? So now we've talked about rodent management. We've talked about the canine. One major aspect that we need to also delve into is the bed bug management, right? One of the major concerns, especially for senior living households where you have elderly ones there. In that kind of situation, I've noticed that you have bed bug infestation, high bed bug infestation in those places. How then do you now get rid of bed bugs in such a, a facility like that? Even with the fact
So
that
there's
you have more of
like high
uh,
rises, the high
yes,
rise,
yes,
yeah.
yes, like high
Um,
infestation, yes.
so we do quarterly inspections. So we do quarterly canine inspections. It's so
Mm,
important to find that one bug because that one bug could be a female, and they lay eggs daily. So we do
exactly.
quarterly canine inspections, and then we'll do immediate treatment. So if we find, if it's not a big infestation, we can treat it right then and there after the dog leaves the room. So we involve canine with this because again, they find what we can't see. And we have had
Mm,
beds that have no sign, no castings, no bed bug fecal, no blood, and yet one bed bug. It just got dropped there. But I'll tell you what's made the biggest difference for us is education. So we
mm,
started talking to the high-rise seniors. We have a big meeting once a quarter, and we provide coffee and juice, and they come and they listen and they get to see the dog. So the dog becomes a therapy dog now, and they get to visit, hear how the dog works. And we talk to them open and honestly about how to protect their community from bed bugs.
Mm.
Bed bugs have such a stigma of filth, dirt, poor, and as we all know, bed bugs, they're everywhere, anywhere. They're just bugs and they hitchhike, right? So we're trying to get various populations to understand this is not a stigma. This is not something to be ashamed of. And that has helped us get our populations below 2%. And these high rises, like you and I were talking about, high rises are nightmare for bed bugs, especially the older buildings because they don't
Yeah.
have firewalls, right? They just travel right
Yeah.
between the wall. So with quarterly canine inspections, immediate treatment, education, I think we're making a difference, and it takes
Wow.
us a while when we get into a building to get it all under control. It could take 6 months because I've got one building that's such a bad infestation. We're on our fourth month, and every time we
Wow.
go, 10 apartments. It's always a different 10, always on a different
Yeah.
floor, but
Wow.
they're traveling. Those bed bugs are traveling, and
Coming together.
we don't do
Wow.
heat treatment. We choose not to do heat treatment because it's very expensive. The insurance is very expensive, and it destroys so much property. And when you're going
Mm.
into a senior home who is on very limited income and they can't replace that television and you go heat it up and fry it and destroy it,
Wow.
that's not fair. So we use steam. We'll use steam
Okay.
treatment, which is wonderful. And we vacuum, we do all the prep. We'll vacuum everything up. And then after we clean it, vacuum it, somebody's taking all their laundry out to a source to have it cleaned and dried and brought back, and we're treating. And then 30 days later, the dogs go back to check on it.
Wow.
Canines would be your best friend. It saves you so much time, so much work.
Wow. In fact,
So,
I think the way you were saying it, it makes inspection even way much easier
so
and
easy.
quite very accurate. So far, you've trained the dog properly. That's really amazing. So in terms of eventually maybe you don't even use insecticides at all.
No, I like to use apprehend. And
Apprehend. Okay.
because if in these populations, in these senior living populations, some of these people have nowhere to go. They can't be
Exactly.
out.
That's
Yeah.
that's my next question. Like, how do you manage them not leaving the apartment?
Some of them we let help do our prep and we visit with them. Pest control people need to understand that we are the forefront of a healthy environment.
Mm,
We're the beginning of a healthy environment, whether it's outside, whether it's inside. But we're also sometimes the only person that person sees is the
yeah,
pest control person. And going into their homes, you need to treat that with respect and not act like you have a right to be there and invading them and build a relationship, build a conversation. They'll tell you, I saw bed bugs. They'll tell you so much stuff. And for us, it's nice because while we're doing our inspection, I'll take the dog and I'll say, would you hold the dog? And they're loving
mm,
and petting on the dog. Now they have therapy.
that's
And we
true.
we leave those apartments and those people are smiling and they're happy that we're there. They love the dogs. It's about making people feel good. Pest control is
Exactly.
about giving people back control of their world.
Exactly. I mean, one of my our tagline for my pest control company is sleep without worries. I mean, the goal is to make sure that every single household that we step into
Yeah,
can now sleep without worries of the pest at night or even probably the flies in the day. So it's a collaborative work that
it
makes
is.
the job work out. And I really love the fact that you're also very keen at educating your audience, your clients. And that's the beginning of a perfect solution. So if you want to know a pest control company that would give you a perfect result, education is like the key strength of that particular company anywhere anywhere and everywhere you go into. Education is key. Observation, like you said, observing all the possible hideouts, understanding where exactly are these rodents or the pests, where are they coming out from? The source, treating
Yes.
from the source is a perfect solution in solving the pest problem, right? So you've nailed it all from beginning to the end to customer communication to effective pest management strategies. And I just want to go back again into how exactly did you have about 52 combined years of experience in the industry. How exactly has it been so far in the industry? I really love the perspective that you brought into the pest control industry. So I mean, for some other people, you are 64 right
I'm
now.
64 years old, turned it January
64.
17th.
Wow. Wait,
Yep.
January 17. That was like few
January, that
days
was just a
ago.
few days ago.
Wow.
64.
Happy belated birthday. That's great.
Thank you.
That's great. You're 64 and you're still very much, active and passionate about the industry, the pest control industry. Why?
Well, and here's something even more
How?
interesting. I know, really, right. I think what's more interesting for me is I'm not in the pest control industry. I just got here. I just arrived.
Wow.
I've been in the wildlife management world.
Oh,
Wildlife management, bird abatement, goose. I do goose work where our dogs chase geese away. I was doing that while we were talking earlier. So I come from that background and I just brought that into pest control and I love
wow.
it. I am so passionate. I wish I would have found this when I was in my 20s. Um,
Wow.
Ryan has 30, 38 or 39 years. One of my business partners in actual, it's a family. He's second generation, very
Wow.
passionate about pest control. His dad's a certified entomologist. And then Jocelyn, she's been in the public fire world for about 12 years, and that kind of involved pest control. My husband, he retired from Georgia Power. He used to research nuclear power transformers. And he reminds me every
Wow.
day he's retired. And I keep saying, no, 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 you're not. You said you wanted to travel. And he's like, not to Mississippi, to a dumpster. So he's wonderful. He's 67. So if we add up all
Wow.
that, and I think why I fell in love with this world and what I want to kind of convey to your listeners too is this is not a job. This is a
Mm,
career of passion. This is a career of detection. This is a career of finding the answers, solving your client's problem. Like you say, let them sleep at peace. Because that
exactly.
warehouse owner is staying up at night if he's losing product with rodents. So
Yes.
it's across the board. Um, and it's very difficult. It's difficult because we have to educate our clients feel that, well, if I hire a new pest company, they'll just come right in and clear up these rats. If this pest company is not doing their job. That's not
Mm,
true. I don't feel that's true. I feel everybody's doing the job. I feel the system is broke. I feel
mm,
the work they're doing within the system is how we've set it up.
mm.
You've got 3 minutes to get to this job site and get it done. You've got, 20 minutes to go get this done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could be all day at a job site and solve the problem. But
Mm,
with all that said, that's why vendors like ourselves so important to these pest companies because what you don't have time to do is what you're paying us to do. And
exactly.
we will solve that for you. I don't think anybody here in the US knows who we are because we work
Mm,
for the pest company and we
wow.
turn over our information to the pest company. And we
Mm,
want to retain your client for you. And that's kind of what we specialize in. We retain your clients, we make them happy again. Does that make
wow.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. 100%. 100%. And that's
I'm
that's
just
that's
rambling
that's
on, sorry.
that's really great. Seeing that passion and education so much keen interest in educating people. The passion for the industry is one of the greatest things that we literally need right now in the pest control industry. You know, the pest control industry is just gaining that light of presence, visibility. I don't know for other countries, but like for Nigeria, it's just gaining that professional light. A lot of people just see it
Mhm.
as fumigation. In Nigeria, they call it fumigation. So when you hear fumigation, it's like a local word. Okay, you just want to come and spray my house and go. But now they are getting to know that this is much more than the word they call fumigation in
Yeah,
quotes. So it's more of a detailed job. And that's why what we do with Pest Insights, basically educating people, creating that awareness, talking about these things on a daily basis, even with the Pest Experience Show, what we are doing right now for professionals and homeowners, is keep on educating, keep on talking about it. With time, they get to understand that this method that they have been used to is not the perfect way. This
that's
system
right.
that I've been used to is not the perfect method. This is the perfect method. This is the procedure. This is a normal procedure to follow in solving the pest problem, and which is literally very great. You know, we talked about having like trainings, right? For young ones. And you mentioned something that you wish you've actually done this like when you were in your 20s. So my question now would be for someone who probably just a fresh graduate or who is like in his 20s who is looking for, okay, I want to start something, right? Or I just want to build up something. What would be your best advice? You know, if a person probably want to dabble into the pest control industry or is just spying or guessing.
No, I would find a mentor. And I love what you're
Mm,
doing with education. And you start there. Everything starts there. It doesn't start with just dumping chemicals. You've got to understand, you've got to know the natural history of every single thing, a cockroach, a bed bug, a drain fly. You know, their natural history will tell you something about them. Now you have to understand how to work that natural history within the environment. You're now a counselor to your clients. You've got to have a people skills. And I think
mhm.
what happens is when new people get into pest control, which is a phenomenal industry, right? In a whole, it's a great
Yeah.
career. I think they're overwhelmed. It's more than just a spray can. They don't
Yeah.
see the emotional side that they have to learn, dealing with the client, dealing with maybe billing, dealing with unsatisfied clients and educating them why.
Mhm.
So my response would be find a mentor, get into
Mhm.
a like what you're creating, an internship program, and let
Yes.
them experience all that with no pressure. There's no pressure. They just get to learn. And I would attend conferences. I would be meeting as many professionals in the field as I could and learning from them. What's their experience, you know? But like you and I were talking earlier, we're in a
Yeah.
revolution right now, a pest control revolution, especially with
Exactly.
rodents. They're learning, they're changing, they're evolving.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
we have to too. But our cockroaches are doing that. Our bed bugs are doing that. It's all being done through resistance and survival. So we're going to have to do those changes too. You have such an exciting plan that I respect so
Mm.
much and I have been following. So I'm so honored that you have asked me to join you on this podcast because you
Yeah.
really have a great direction for people, young people,
Mhm.
and
Thank you.
mentoring where they can't fail. And failing will be
Mm.
okay. There's no pressure. Fail and learn.
Exactly.
Fail and learn it. Move on. And fail every
Exactly.
day, right? That means you're doing something.
Exactly. I mean, my own mantra is that fail first, right?
That's right.
Fail first. You've not tried it and you're scared of whatever. What if whatever doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Just
And
try it. Just
that's
try
right.
it. So it's
That's right.
just
Get out of
how
the
I
box.
yeah, exactly. It's just how I when I started my pest control business, right? I started when I was in school and it started as just a product. I first produced the products, then went into the service. And at some point I started doing it myself alone. At some point I discovered that yeah, this thing is getting bigger than myself. I started looking for people. I had issues with recruiting people. It was so hard getting young minds to be part of the system. I got to know that even in the industry, it's a global thing. It affects everybody, not just
Yep.
myself. It's something that is already in the industry. A lot of people are having these issues of getting the real technicians, getting the workforce, the right set of people to work with them. So then I discovered that, you know, we can actually create an apprenticeship program through the Pest Insight project initiative to educate more people, create more workforce. And I spoke to some couple of people in the industry, reached out to some couple of people international, some of my previous guests, and I discovered that this is not just a Nigeria problem, it's a global problem. So then we created the Pest Insight apprenticeship program, which is going to be happening this year, June to August 2026. And we talked about it before the show, and I'm super excited that you also will be joining us as to be a facilitator on the apprenticeship program. And we have so many things that we're looking forward to learn. And this is also to professionals who are um, in the industry already, to get to know that the apprenticeship program is not just for newbies, it's for people who are also experienced to learn,
Right.
unlearn, and relearn. And we'll be having seasoned experts. I literally, the list that I have right now of experts that I want to be on the program are like, in fact, they are top men, top seasoned experts, right? And the goal is a global vision. So, and we are looking at learning from different country, different expertise, different viewpoint, and that's the only way we can solve effective problem. You bring your own, they bring theirs, we bring ours, and we combine everything together. Even manufacturers will be joining us on this, right? Um,
Yes.
we're open to collaboration partnerships for people who are shared vision in creating internship, for companies who are looking forward to creating, or they have space to internship space. Reach out to us. We have people who are wanting who really need a space to learn, unlearn, and relearn, even expert, right? And it's basically a collaborative effort that makes the work works, right? So it's literally great to also have you right on the show, and it's been a wonderful one tonight. Your experience in the industry has shaped a lot, changed us. I mean, I've learned so much from you, right? I've learned so much from a couple of things that you share online on your LinkedIn page, couple of things that you also talk about, and from your own wealth of experience, I've learned so much, and I'm very sure that a couple of people who are going to be listening to the program today are also going to be learning so much from this show, right? I don't know if you have one or two things that you want to also um talk about.
Um, you broke up there for a minute.
Yeah, so I said I don't know if you have one or few things that you want to add up to also share.
Um, wow, we talked about so much. Um,
Yeah.
uh, my husband's wandering around here trying to see what he's doing. Um, I just want people to take their time, make a great a career decision, because like we keep talking about, this is not just a career, a job, it's a career. And
Mhm.
people's happiness, their health is really in some of our hands, right? So
Exactly.
education, observation, be the detective. Be the
Hmm.
observant biologist. Be the detective. That's so important. Bobby Corrigan preaches that. Be the observation biologist. Learn what you're stalking. Learn everything about it before you try to treat it. You will
True.
be successful. It's so much easier doing it that way than coming in and trying to treat it, and now you got to back up. Because
Mm.
now you've caused that neophobic rat not to hit the trap, not to get on the glue board, not to go in the box. So learn your population. I don't care if it's cockroaches or bed bugs or drain flies or rodents. Learn your population, learn their behavior, and don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to get out of the box. And
Amazing.
if anybody wants to do a canine program, we're always here to help. I think canine is going to be the next bio pesticide tool, you know.
Exactly.
So I
I
think
mean,
we're
I'm
on our way.
I mean, I'm looking forward to implementing K9 in Nigeria, or in even in West Africa globally, right? Because it's something that would be so much like really appreciated here, coupled with the fact that it also sounds like a therapy, right? Based on how you analyzed it, it also serves as a therapy. A lot of us literally emotions. People buy
Mhm.
emotions before they even buy the solutions that they are looking forward to,
I agree. I agree.
right?
And my dog is definitely my support when I'm out there and I start getting frustrated, and all I gotta do is just look at him or pet him, and I know dogs are so honest. They're just sniffing with their nose. You know,
Exactly.
they don't have a fight in the game. They just want to go find their toy.
Mm.
And it is such a joy to work with a talented partner like a dog. And your police officer will say it's the same thing. Anyone over there working with dogs, they feel it, they see it. It's an
Mhm.
amazing experience.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to that. So, one thing again is, do you offer trainings, consultations, um, into canine applications and stuff like that? Do you train dogs? So,
We do. We have trained dogs and sent them out the door. It's not what I focus on because we're so busy.
okay,
But if somebody reaches out to me and I know they're going to put the work into it, honestly, I will definitely help them. I will do whatever I can to make help them succeed. From picking the dog out, we can train the dog for them. We're training one for Mexico. So,
okay.
and when you were talking earlier about it's so hard to get equipment in sometimes to the country, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
did we have trouble getting the Burrow RX into Mexico? But we did it, and it was a team. It was Mexico, Burrow RX, us. It was so many people coming together to make that happen, and we can do that for you guys too. You know,
great.
I
I mean,
I believe in your mission. It's global. It is a
yeah.
global mission that we should all be on.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I would really love that. That's collaboration to make this really work out. I mean, the goal is a global mission, and together we can do less talking, right? And show workings, right?
Yep.
Show them how exactly this is being done and how it should be done professionally, right? There's so much that we can do with the talking, but without showing the workings, would actually we're not even doing anything, right? So we need to
Mhm.
actually show this is how it's done, this is how we can do it. And we what we are also doing with the apprenticeship program, eventually we're going to be having a boot camp, having a session, a physical session on site, online trainings, on-site work. I'm looking at bringing, in fact, international professionals down to Nigeria or maybe the other country, depending on the amount of students that we have per country or per state. Then we go round into different boot camp. So we have a global mission of such with the Pest Insights initiative, even through the Pest Experience Show like this. And the goal is large, right? So we're calling on professionals, seasoned experts to be part of what we're building. And even media agencies, the PCT, PMP magazine, it's an opportunity that we can all
Mhm.
come together to create that awareness in the industry. I mean, it's been a
And we
wonderful session. Yeah,
and we can hold those here, and we would definitely love to be a part of them in Nigeria and bring a team over and help you with your mission because it's phenomenal. So
yeah,
thank you again for inviting me,
yeah.
little 60-year-old lady me, to be a
Little,
part of
yeah.
this.
Oh my God, little. That's 64 years in this world. That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I hope I get 20 more years. And I don't know if I'm going to be
Definitely.
able to chase rats in dumpsters for that much longer, but I'm going to do it as long as I can.
By God's grace, by God's grace.
That's right.
Thank you very much for honoring my invitation to be part of the global experience seasoned expert or guest on the Pest Experience Show. It's been a wonderful
Thank you.
session out here. I'm
Thank you.
glad that you could share experience. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's great. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.